All right, today we're tackling one of the most powerful, but honestly, most overlooked skills in all of finance, patience. We're going to dig into the brilliant book, The Psychology of Money, to figure out why just waiting is your secret weapon for building real, lasting wealth. Let's get into the psychological secret that really separates the wealthy from, well, everyone else.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with a huge question. What do you think is the #1 reason most people actually end up losing money? Is it picking a bad stock, a massive market crash, maybe getting into some crypto coin at the absolute peak? Well, I'm telling you, the real answer is probably not what you think, and it has almost nothing to do with any of that.
No, it's not about bad investments. It's about bad patience. You see, most of the biggest financial train wrecks, they don't happen because someone isn't smart. They happen because of a total lack of emotional discipline. It's when people just ditch a perfectly solid plan, all because it's just not paying off fast enough for them.
And that brings us right to the heart of it all, the money mind game. It's not what you know, it's how you behave. Seriously, building wealth, it's not a math test, it's a psychological game. It's all about how you act when things get scary, or maybe even more importantly, when things just get boring.
The author of the book, Morgan Housel, just nails it with this quote. He says, "Doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are, and a lot to do with how you behave." I mean, think about that. Financial success is so much more about taming your own emotions than it is about mastering some complex spreadsheet. And while everyone else is, frantically chasing the next big thing, the patient investor gets it. They know the real power isn't in some genius trade. It's in controlling their own behavior. And this is why that behavior is so critical. Because real wealth, it's built on a principle that feels almost painfully slow for a long time. And then bam, seemingly out of nowhere, it turns into this unstoppable force. The patient investor, they're just sitting back, quietly letting the magic of compounding do all the heavy lifting. Which leads us perfectly into our next section, compounding's patient power. This is the magic that only works with time. Look, this might be the single most powerful force in the entire financial universe. But its magic only kicks in if you give it the one thing it absolutely needs: time.
Okay, let's do a quick thought experiment. Imagine you've got $1 single, and it doubles every single day. So after 10 days, you've got $512. That's nice, right? But it's not exactly life-changing money. And this right here, this is the exact point where most people get bored. They check out. They give up.
But what if you just stick with it? Check this out. After another 10 days, so we're at day 20 now, that same dollar has exploded to over $500,000. Do you see that acceleration? The growth isn't linear. It's not a straight line. It's a rocket ship taking off. And what if you have the patience to see it all the way through to day 30? That $1 becomes over $1 billion. It's insane, right? This just perfectly illustrates the whole point. Pretty much all of the massive gains happen at the very end. Patience is the ticket that lets you be there when it happens. So the big takeaway here is the simple rule. The first rule of compounding: never interrupt it unnecessarily. Every single time you panic and pull your money out, or you get impatient and chase some other shiny object, you're essentially resetting that clock all the way back to day 1. You're throwing away all that incredible growth that was just around the corner. And that whole idea of letting things grow without messing with them, it leads us right into our next big idea: time in the market, and why consistency absolutely crushes prediction. This is where patience really draws a line in the sand between the winners and everyone else. So look at the difference here. Trying to time the market is like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. It's a fool's errand of trying to predict the future. And let's just be real, nobody, and I mean nobody, can do that consistently. But having time in the market, that's something else entirely. That's not about prediction. It's about a powerful belief in the future. It's about trusting that, over the long haul, things will generally go up. So the big mindset shift here is simple, but it is so profound. Investing isn't about trying to predict what's going to happen tomorrow. It's about believing in the next 10 years. It's about having the patience and the conviction to just let the long-term story play out. All right, now for a really interesting distinction that most people completely miss: getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. They sound like the same thing, but they are not. They are two totally different skills for one very long game. Just look at the difference in mindset. To get wealthy, yeah, you often need some risk-taking, some optimism. You got to be willing to take action. But to stay wealthy, That's a whole different ballgame. It requires humility, knowing you could lose it all. It requires a healthy dose of fear, and most of all, it requires the patience to not do something dumb with the money you've worked so hard to build. Patience is your ultimate defense.
And this right here is why just surviving in the market is so incredibly important. I love this quote. You can be wrong half the time and still build wealth if you stay in the game long enough. Think about that. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to be right all the time. You just need the patience to stick around long enough for your good decisions to compound and make up for all your bad ones.
Okay, so let's tie all of this together. Let's talk about why patience is your edge. I mean, it's the one advantage that literally anyone can cultivate. In today's world, everyone has the same information, right? The same apps, the same strategies. So what's your actual advantage? It's patience. That's it. It's the great equalizer.
So, if you want to know what your real financial edge is, it boils down to this simple formula right here. Patience is just a combination of three things: giving your money enough time to grow, applying your plan with relentless consistency, and having the emotional control to not blow it all up. That's the whole secret sauce.
And if you remember nothing else, remember this. The market rewards consistency, not excitement. It really doesn't care about that thrilling trade you made or some genius prediction. It rewards the people who just show up month in and month out and stick to the plan.
So the ultimate lesson from all this? Wealth isn't built in a day. It's not about one brilliant move. It's built by staying the course every single day, especially the boring days. It's about letting time and compounding do their thing.
So if you're ready to start growing your wealth the patient way, and you want more of these clear financial insights and actionable strategies, you know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to Ditta Finance. We drop 3 new explainers just like this every single week to help you on your journey. Thanks for hanging out.